Like, you don't put that on someone. Like, that's the thing that you better be super sure. It used to be like that. Like, you have to be super sure before you put.
Jay-Z just had a bombshell interview to defend his name over the recent allegations against him, but he slipped up and may have just finally admitted his involvement in Tupac Shakur's murder, and the timing couldn't have been worse with Tupac's murderer pointing fingers in court. The claim, the courtroom, and the interview that set the internet on fire. The short version of what's being passed around is this. Keith D, the man charged with first-degree murder with a deadly weapon in the killing of Tupac Shakur, is accused of naming Jay-Z in court and in court-adjacent interviews, and the second half is that Jay-Z days later sat down for a long-form GQ profile and allegedly sent a message back. To figure out if any of that holds up, it helps to start with the courtroom. Keith D was arrested on September 29, 2023 in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department had been building toward this for years, and the indictment came from a grand jury that had finally reviewed enough of his own recorded confessions to move. In his 2018 BET documentary appearance, in his memoir, and in a string of podcast interviews, Keith D had placed himself in the front passenger seat of the white Cadillac that pulled up on Tupac at the corner of Flamingo and Koval on the night of September 7, 1996. He described the gun being handed to the back seat. He described the motive, which was retaliation for Tupac and the death row entourage stomping out his nephew, Orlando Anderson, inside the MGM Grand earlier that night after the Tyson Seldon fight. And he described the moment the shots were fired. The people named in those confessions were gang members: Southside Compton Crips, Orlando Anderson, DeAndre Big Dre Smith, Terrence Bubble Up Brown. The grand jury testimony that led to the indictment has reportedly centered on a Crips affiliate, identifying Smith as the actual shooter because of his size. Every name that gets mentioned in that circle is a Crip. It's a gang retaliation story. That's the version Keith D has been telling for a decade, and it's the version Las Vegas prosecutors took to the grand jury. Now layer the GQ interview on top of that. Jay-Z sat down with writer Fraser Tharp for what turned into a long, reflective conversation about his album, Hard to Kill, the Super Bowl, the business he's built, and the civil suit that had been voluntarily dismissed with prejudice in February 2025. That dismissal is critical, and it's documented. The Jane Doe lawsuit, which had alleged an assault at a 2000 MTV VM as afterparty, was dropped in February 2025, and Jay-Z's attorney Alex Spiro publicly called the allegations, in the Hollywood Reporter's own words, provably, demonstrably false. In the GQ conversation, Jay went in on about what the last year had felt like. He talked about being angry. He talked about not being able to settle. He talked about his family. He talked about making music under pressure. And that's where the internet seized on a phrase. Longevity, the podcaster whose full breakdown drives a lot of what's being cut up on social media, spent an entire episode walking through the interview, and he kept returning to one line.
I've had big deals with, I called my guy from LVMH, hey man, this is coming, and I can't get rid of it. I can't take a settlement.
That one line, I can't take a settlement, has been clipped, retitled, and run with. Some of the people running it online tied it directly to the Keith D trial.